Chapter 12. Water, every drop is precious. Ours is a water-based planet. 75% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. Only 25% is covered with land, where we live. All living beings need water to live. Human body is made up of about 70% water. All life processes, from taking in food to getting rid of wastes, require water. We drink water. We also take in water through drinks like fruit juices, milk, tea or coffee. Water has many uses. Where is water located on the earth? About 97% of all water is salt water, found in oceans, bays and seas. Only 1% of all water is fresh water. And 2% is frozen in glaciers and ice caps, mainly in Greenland and Antarctica. Water is also present in the air around us in the form of water vapor. Sea water and ocean water that form the bulk is too salty. It cannot be used for drinking, farming or manufacturing processes. Water that is locked in, glaciers and ice caps also cannot be used. Hence, water is a scarce natural resource. Sources of water. Broadly, the two natural sources of water are surface water and underground water. Rainwater is the purest form of natural water. Rainwater acts as a natural sprinkler for irrigation. In our country, agriculture depends upon rainwater to a large extent. Surface water. Surface water comprises water from rain and is found in large water bodies, example, rivers, lakes, oceans and seas. A river is a long stream of water fed by rains and melting snow from mountains. The flowing water of rivers can also be used to produce electricity by constructing dams in them. This is called hydro energy. A pond or a lake is a small water body where water gets collected from rain, river and melting snow. Lakes and ponds are the best places for swimming. Step wells, also called bauli in Hindi, Barav in Marathi and Vav in Gujarati, are wells or ponds from which the water can be reached by descending a set of steps. They may be covered and protected. Step wells are constructed for storage and irrigation. They have been developed in India, mainly to cope with seasonal fluctuations in water availability. Groundwater. As it rains, some water seeps through the soil and gets collected above the layer of bedrocks. This forms a sort of large water body under the ground. This is groundwater. This water is safe for drinking. Wells are dug to obtain groundwater. Hand pumps or tube wells can also be installed to get groundwater. Groundwater can also be brought out through hand pumps and tube wells and used for various purposes. Sometimes groundwater comes out with pressure through an opening on the Earth's surface to form springs. Spring water is rich in salts and minerals. From where does water come to your house? Water from rivers, ponds and wells can be purified and used for household consumption. In cities, groundwater is pumped out with the help of power pumps and bore wells. Then it is purified and collected in tanks. From these tanks, it is circulated to the households through a network of water pipes that are laid underground. Water gets stored in the tanks kept on the terraces of the houses. From these tanks, water runs through the inlet pipes and reaches our bathrooms and toilets through the taps. In rural areas, individual houses have power pumps and wells. Uses of water. Water has various uses. It is used in industries, household, agriculture. Most importantly, supports life. Industries depend on water to a large extent. Water in industries is used as a solvent to make steam, which is then used to generate electricity, or as a coolant and cleaning material. At home, besides drinking, water is used for many household activities like brushing, bathing, cleaning, washing clothes and vessels, and flushing the toilet. Quite a lot of water is needed to sustain crops. Roots of the plants take water from the soil, which helps the plant to live and grow. When rainfall in a region is not sufficient to meet the water need of the crops, the farmers supply water by artificial means. This is known as irrigation. Life in water. Many organisms live in water. Animals and plants that live in water are called aquatic animals or plants. Aquatic animals. Saltwater habitat. Here, mainly animals like fish, crabs, prawns, and starfish are found. Many large animals like sharks and whales are also found here. Freshwater habitat. In this habitat, many animals like fish, snakes, and frogs are found. Fish are found both in saltwater and freshwater habitats. Frogs can stay inside the water as well as on land. Water birds like swans, flamingos, and geese live around water. Aquatic plants. Some aquatic plants remain totally submerged underwater, while some float above. Water hyacinth, duckweed, and water lettuce are some common floating plants. Their roots hang just below the water surface. They are not fixed to the soil. Submerged plants, often known as pondweed, are rooted plants with most of their vegetative mass below the water surface. Anacharies, hornwort, Ludwigia, and Vallisneria are some of the submerged plants. Some aquatic plants, like lotus and water lily, have roots that are fixed to the soil at the bottom of the water body. These are called fixed plants. Water lily has large circular leaves with a waxy covering on the upper surface. This helps it to repel water, thus keeping the stomata open and clear. The uncertainty in monsoon. Nearly 75% of the total rainfall in India is due to the monsoon from June to September. Even in this season, the rainfall in most parts of the country is uncertain. Production of rice, corn, cotton and oil seeds depends on the monsoon. When it does not rain for long, the soil becomes absolutely dry and this affects the plant life. Vegetation and animal life are also affected, resulting in the scarcity of food. Water bodies like ponds, lakes, seasonal rivers, wells and rivers dry out. The level of groundwater depletes, causing scarcity of potable water. This makes our life uncomfortable. If this condition continues for long, it may end up in a natural calamity called drought and famine. Thus, agriculture in India suffers due to its dependence on rain. This is why most parts of the country has switched to artificial irrigation by constructing dams and canals. Scarcity of drinking water is commonly seen in the remote villages of Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, where people have to go long distances to fetch water for their daily needs. However, today Indira Gandhi Canal in North India brings water to the Thar Desert of Rajasthan from the Harike barrage on river Satluj. This has improved the agricultural conditions as well as the life of people there. Saving water. Think what happens on a day when you do not get your supply of water. You panic because all of your household chores use water. Water is a limited resource which we may not have in the future. Drinking water or potable water is also limited. Hence, we must take care to conserve water. You can also do your bit to save water and help the environment. Rainwater harvesting. Every year, during rainy season, we let huge amount of fresh water run off our roads down the drains. Think, if we had collected all the rain water falling on our terrace, roads, etc., we could actually have vast reserves of water. This is where rainwater harvesting comes in. It is basically the technique of collecting rainwater and keeping it reserved for use in future. All we need to do is create rainwater tanks to store water. The collected water can be used for small-scale irrigation of vegetable gardens, washing clothes, bathing, etc. Rainwater aids in environmental conservation and prevents groundwater from being depleted. Here are some tips to conserve water. Close the tap while brushing your teeth. Check for leaking taps and water pipes. Free-flowing wells should be covered to save them from contamination. Dishwashers and washing machines can be operated on full loads. Regular toilets can be replaced by low-flush toilets. Help in creating awareness amongst the masses about the importance of water as a resource. Word bank. Groundwater. Rainwater percolates through the ground and gets collected in the bedrock, forming groundwater. Potable water. Water fit for drinking. Spring. When groundwater comes out with pressure through an opening on the Earth's surface, it forms a spring. Rainwater harvesting. A method of collecting rainwater and keeping it reserved for use in future. In a nutshell, water is an extremely important aspect of our daily lives. We cannot survive without water in our lives. Water covers more than 2/3 of the Earth's surface. Fresh water is scarce on the Earth. The rest is either in the form of sea water that is salty, or as ice caps in polar regions. That is why we often hear about water scarcity in many areas. When it rains heavily in coastal areas, the overflowing of water results in flood. When it does not rain for long, it causes flood and famine. We need to conserve water.